Hey, it's Sean McMean from Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and today I'm going to share with you 7 SEO tips to help you get more results from your online marketing. All right, let's dive into it.
This isn't just any podcast. This is your secret weapon for dominating the market.
This is the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and this is your host, Sean McMean.
So, number 1. We want to make sure our hub of our online presence, our website, loads extremely fast, okay? Go out there and search Google Page Speeds Insights and test the speed of your website on mobile and on website. If it does not load fast, there's many things that could be the issue with that, but make sure you focus on that. Make sure your website loads extremely fast. In March of 2024, Google made more emphasis on this. Core Web Vitals is what they call it. So make sure you work on that. Number 2, if your website loads fast, then you probably don't have an issue with this. But if it doesn't, you could have an issue with large images on your website. Sometimes we take photos with our camera, we take photos with our phone, and then we just automatically upload those pictures into our website without optimizing those, okay? Make sure you optimize those photos, condense them down, press them down so that they're web-friendly formats and that they load fast. So when you do that speed test from the number 1 tip I gave you, you could notice that there's images that are way too big on your website. So get those cleaned up quickly, okay? The next thing you want to make sure you do, which is most people nowadays have this in place, but it's called HTTPS or secure link on your website, an SSL certificate. If you do not, if you pull up your website and it doesn't say HTTPS, make sure you get an SSL certificate assigned to that website so that way your site is trusted in Google's eyes. So that's the 3rd tip. The 4th tip is you want to make sure your website is mobile friendly. It loads very cleanly and very fastly on your mobile phone. Test it on your mobile phone. Pause this video, go out there to your website, pull it up on your mobile phone, make sure it loads fast, make sure when you scroll down that page, your phone number is always present out there on that. Test it on a couple different types of phones. Test it on Android, on iPhone. Make sure it loads good. Test it without Wi-Fi enabled as well. Just on the cell phone signal. Make sure it loads fast that way because many times we're out and about or we don't have Wi-Fi signal, and so that's extremely important. So that's tip number 4. The next tip will be about local search optimization. Make sure you have a Google Maps profile that's properly filled out all the categories. If you provide water damage, make sure that's your number 1 category, and make sure your website is linked from that Google Maps profile, okay? So the next tip you want to make sure you utilize is effective keyword search, okay? And what I mean by that is making sure that you are doing some keyword research on topics that people are commonly searching for our industry, right? So what are the common reasons why a water damage restoration company would come out to my home? Tips for cleanup after a flood. All of those types sort of terms or those long tail keywords are really important for Google to understand that you have expertise in the area, in the field. And then on top of that, the next tip would be creating quality content from that, okay? And utilizing that quality content to make sure that your website is answering those questions that people are commonly searching in your area. Now, if you're in Florida, obviously you're not going to have tips about basements and things like that, right? Because there's no basements in Florida. But if you're in an area that has basements that commonly flood, you want to create some content around that. Create some content around sewage cleanup, those types of things. What do you do if your basement floods? What do you do if your toilet backs up? Those are great ways to make sure you utilize the keyword research to provide solutions so that Google knows that you're an expert in your field. So again, make sure you're optimized on local search. Make sure your website loads fast. Make sure it's mobile friendly. Make sure you're utilizing effective keyword search, creating quality content, optimizing the images on your website, and finally, make sure you have HTTPS enabled on your website so that Google can trust your company's website and your presence online. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.
Sean's not here to just talk the talk. He's walked the walk. With a track record of helping over 70 damage restoration companies and engaging in over 500 conversations with industry owners, he's seen it all. From digital marketing triumphs to the most ingenious growth hacks, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he's sharing them with you. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, for more, hit the website at restorationmarketing.com. See you next time on the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.